Hello there, welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks and Guinea Titan, and once again we're in the 50 TP, which you probably won't see for some time again now that I've managed to release it. And we're on Himmelsdorf, and we have a pretty good game in this one, I will tell you in advance. But one of the things that struck me at the start of the game is that I almost crash into a fellow tank at the start of the game because I'm looking over my shoulder watching the Roger Dodger. I think that's the Roger Dodger. This guy here, and just trying to figure out what it was based off of. It looks like a Tiger II hull, and the turret's kind of reminiscent of a Lova, and there is the motion. And it occurred to me when I was rewatching this, just visiting the conversation that I had a couple of weeks ago on the whole topic of the toy tanks, as I keep thinking about the Hot Wheels sponsorships and the WWE sponsorships, and there's one or two of these tanks in practically every game that I've been in since the campaign started. So people are buying them. And this is practically pure profit for Wargaming. Because the developer time needed to make these tanks is minimal. There's no research involved. There's no going out to the archives and looking at drawings or trying to find as manufactured drawings or as design drawings or whatever it is they're based off of. There's nothing to make up in the sense that, unlike some of the paper tanks are just minimal proposals. I don't know how much or little information they had and stuff like the Waffenträger E100 and various other tanks like that didn't really exist. As far as I know, were never really seriously pursued. There were more in terms of ideas and prototype ideas. I don't know how much actual data they have, but these things are generally based off of, as far as I can tell, they're based off existing tanks. So they're essentially reskins, and reskin strikes me as the cheapest possible kind of new content that Wargaming can do. Takes some graphic designers' time, maybe a little bit of a programmer's time because they're tweaking the stuff slightly. Add the new model into the game, and off they go. And they sell probably quite a few of them, because the fact that I see them in games would suggest that quite a few are being sold. It's not like they're not selling. So they're making a reasonable amount of money for Wargaming, and yeah, I'd rather if they weren't in it, but like I said, it's not exactly the worst way Wargaming can be making money, and in some cases you might say it's a better deal for us, the player. We're still getting our game, we're still getting the servers running, in comparison to, say, a lot of AAA titles which 20 years ago came with, or 10 years ago came with 60 hours of gameplay, and are now 20 hours of gameplay or 30 hours of gameplay, and the rest of it is in actual... It's developed, it's done at the time of creation of the game, but it's held back and sold to you again for 2/3 the price of the original game as a downloadable DLC. However, things are not looking good. We're tanked down, and I thought, okay, I better not leave the Mouchin alone. Always make the fights unfair if you possibly can. And try and make it 2-1 if you possibly can. Now, I don't think Motherland could have beaten the Mouchin from the front anyway. I certainly wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think. Certainly wouldn't fancy trying. You'd want to be able to at least get onto the side. Now, the thing is, the threat of the cap circle is real and quite serious. And have we lost a tank destroyer just there? Either the light tank took him out, or the heavy tank took him out. So I think the cap circle is seriously under threat here, and there's the light tank reappearing, going after the artillery. So let's deal with the Conqueror. That should free up the tank destroyer to deal with the light tank, and maybe try and save the artillery. So we've brought ourselves even, and I better go back and help out the Mouchin again, because you never know when something is going to happen, because there's 2-1 below there near the railway station, and our guy's probably going to lose. So we're a tank down, and on my way back, there's also the tank, of course, the enemy tank up in the castle, And here he is 50 TP, and okay, I have the health advantage now because I got that shot in. And that's significant because we're as evenly matched as you're likely to get. It's a decent tank. It's going to be a problem putting around through the front of him now. He's coming out sideways. But he's not giving me a lot to shoot at. And the problem here is closing the distance. Okay, he's fired and missed. So I can take the opportunity now to close the distance because I will have reloaded. And I will be most of the distance covered. Oh, no, I didn't get an angle. I don't have an angle there. I have most of the distance covered before I have to close the contact. Now he kind of knows it, so he's waiting for me to come around the corner. So now it's Commander's Hatch firing time, which I'm not always good at. But we managed to get around through, and that now gives us a very solid advantage because we've twice the hit points. He's come out, which in the circumstances is probably not the smartest idea. He'd been better off actually dragging this. He missed with that one totally. He'd been better off dragging this fight out completely, because, as long as he could, because the numeric advantage is on his side. So he's tying up a top tier heavy tank in our team as long as he exists. But he didn't. So I have the opportunity of dealing with him. However, while we were having our little fight, the situation completely changed itself. The rest of the team, we've actually managed to overcome the tanks that we were up against, and now we're the ones that are numerically superior and probably going to win the fight. Now that Mauchin is essentially a one-shot kill. Although I know that the remaining enemy tank is a it's the Black Prince, which probably would have trouble penetrating the Mauchin from the front. I'm not sure. They didn't exist when I was driving the Black Prince. They hadn't been introduced into the game. But he'd probably do it from the side. He's up down here. So doesn't matter if he makes it to the cap circle. Our tank destroyers arrive, so we've only got 2 tanks in the cap circle. So we're going to cap out before the enemy heavy tank will do anything about it. And I'm coming along here looking for him, any sign of him, and there he is. And he's got his back to him. He's got the turret facing this way. This is like he was, I don't know, stopped for a conversation with somebody or something like that, because maybe he just decided there were 3 tanks remaining, he wasn't going to get anything done. I don't know why he didn't have his frontal armour. He had his gun facing this way and he didn't have the frontal armour facing. Don't understand what the logic of that was going on there at all, but anyway, it wouldn't have mattered a whole lot. I wouldn't have had much trouble putting through rounds through the Black Prince from front or back. So we got 5 kills, 4,500 damage, high caliber, and first class mastery. And sharpshooter, a Polish heavy tank. So we came number 1 by experience. Stradvagen is 1 and Mauchin. Yeah, reasonably good results all round. Roger Dodger came 3rd. The enemy team didn't do badly, actually. They did a fair amount of damage, but kind of feel sorry for a Black Prince in a map like this with this kind of matchmaking, because you're generally too slow to keep up a lot of the time, and the battle keeps running away from you. So it's very hard to contribute then, because the gun isn't that good. Not from the front at any rate. Not against the kind of tier 10 or tier 9 type tanks. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will catch you all again soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out, and if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.